What's happening right now with the financial system is that and I've written about this in my Delphi Associates Newsletter. I talked about it 10 years ago when it was happening. I predicted all the way back in 96, 97 that they were going to repeal something called the Glass-Steagall Act. And the Glass-Steagall Act was passed during the Depression to create a series of firewalls in the financial system. It created firewalls between banks, brokerage houses, trading institutions, insurance companies, stock brokerage firms, et cetera, et cetera. And this was all very well in place. And actually the economy sang along very, very well during the 1990s. And the one good thing I have to say about Bill Clinton is he ran the snot out of the economy. In February of 1998, Bill Clinton balanced the federal budget, and he was being impeached a few months later. In 1974, Richard Nixon balanced the federal budget in February of 1974, and he was being impeached in August several months later. So when you understand that debt directly connects, banks want the government in debt. The worst thing Bush could have done was give away that $350 billion when he first got into office as far as the surplus, because it raised the interest rates, it got us back into debt with the banks, all the stuff that happened, what he called the refund. The biggest thing that you're seeing is that now, with the repeal of the Glass-Steagall Act, I predicted 10 years ago this was the beginning of the end, that eventually one bank was going to eat another, eat another, eat another, eat another, until eventually you'd have one global super bank, if you will, where you could go in and you could have your 401k and your savings account and your mortgage and do trading and whatever else, and that was going to be a disaster. Because the Wall Street GBs, as I call them, because there's no other way to put it, the greedy bastards on Wall Street, they wanted complete deregulation. They wanted no government interference whatsoever, and they got exactly what they wanted, and they got fed just enough rope to hang themselves. Now, as of October 1st of 2008, the republic as we know it is gone. Anybody who thinks that we now operate under a constitutional republic or even democracy is deluded. We are now more communist than China. When you can privatize profit and socialize debt, where's it going to go from there? Does it mean any business that I get involved in, that I can make my money on the one hand, but if I fail, the government's going to bail me out? By the way, the house that you couldn't pay for, that the bank took away, well, guess what? With the bailout, you're paying for it. I had a friend in San Diego who had a $19 million real estate development that he was doing, and he was having a lot of problems with the bank, and the bank was dealing with him in good faith and was going to cut his rates and was going to work with him to get the whole thing paid off. The minute they heard that bailout was coming, they froze the whole thing. They said, we can get paid by Uncle Sugar. We don't have to deal with you. So now we're going to screw you. We're going to take your housing development. We're going to sell it, and the government's going to pay us too. So you can now see that the banks don't have to deal with people because they don't have to act like human beings now. They don't have to have any mercy whatsoever because the Fed is going to bail them out.